Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Roundabout Theatre Company continues their stellar season with a stunning new production of the Arthur Miller classic, All My Sons. Under the direction of Jack O'Brien, it welcomes back to the New York stage Annette, Tracy and Benjamin Walker, and I caught up with all of them on opening night just minutes after the curtain rang down. What's made it so special this time around with working on this play, coming back to the stage?
I think it's the group. That's why we do theater, is because we want to work together in such a close, intimate way, and with Tracy and Ben Walker and the entire company. We are very much there for each other, and that's the joy of it. And this incredible play, it's a beautiful, beautiful play, and I just feel very grateful and lucky that I got to do it, and with Jack O'Brien. It's every night is different. Every night it changes and grows, and that's the real joy of it.
What's it like being in the rehearsal room with Jack O'Brien, one of the finest directors we have?
Well, he's an enthusiast, and he is incredibly articulate about the play. He had worked on the play. He had done it before in the 80s for television with James Whitmore, Michael Learned, Joan Allen, Jelko Ivanek. So he knew the play very well. But he is incredibly articulate and knows when to say something, knows when not to say something. And he really creates an atmosphere where everyone feels very open and supported, and we could talk about everything. So it was really helpful.
All My Sons is a challenge. We knew that going into it, that it was going to be a mountain to climb, and we're not done working, but it just feels good to be at this particular plateau.
What's made this so special for you?
Well, ultimately, you come back to the play. It's a great, important, and beautifully written drama. And the audience is having an experience at every performance, and so that ultimately, I mean, you just can't ask for anything better than that in the theater. I mean, what you always carry away from any experience like this, the people you're working with, and it's just a sterling bunch of people, not only on stage but off as well. It's a great bunch, so it's been a good time so far.
It's an excruciating play, and this group of actors makes it, dare I say, pleasant. That we have each other's support and professionalism, and that, in a nutshell, is my favorite part. That we feel like a real ensemble and a real family.
You all roll up your sleeves together and put this play together.
Let's get our hands dirty. We think we know, but do we? How deeply can we go into the density of what Miller wrote? And the way we rehearsed it and the way we worked on it has made that possible. So we were lucky to have it.
Love the most about Chris Keller. What a beautifully complex man.
Well, one thing I share with Chris is that I believe in the better nature of people. That we can do our best for each other, and we should at least try.
This is the kind of work that made me want to be an actor, is to be in this kind of play with these kinds of actors and this kind of ensemble. So it's a dream come true.
What's made this so special for you?
A lot of things. I think telling this story at this time, it feels important. It makes me feel like my job is really doing something. It feels worthwhile. And then to be with these actors are actors that I remember going and lining up to get a rush ticket to see Tracy Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf when I was in school. To know these people not only as actors that I've watched and admired forever, but to know them as collaborators, as partners, to know them as friends is just unbelievable.
Actually, I'm about to get married in about a week. And hey, so I was telling my fiance the other day, it's I could never dream this big. I truly couldn't. There's really no words for it, especially for an actor like me. I've had a very short career, but to be under the wing of all these legends has been both affirmation for me and completely humbling. I couldn't ask for more, truly.
The writing and the characters are so rich, and you just get to inhabit these stories that are just amazing and iconic. And doing this play right now that is still was written in the 1940s, but is still so shockingly relevant, and asking us to look at our relationships outside of our personal relationships, and look at the world at large and how we can contribute to the human race. It's amazing. It's heartbreaking that it's still so relevant, that Arthur back in the 1940s was saying that we as a society often choose profit over people, and here we are still sort of having that same conversation.
In the room with director Jack O'Brien, what has that been like?
He's like a philosopher. It's almost like you're in an orchestra and he's conducting you. And it's the cool thing about our production is that everybody brings something different to it, and so it's wonderful to be with him and have him just like talk to you about theater and his philosophies about theater, which if you can read his book, because it's like being in a room with him every day. These just amazing philosophies of theater. So
I play Lydia Luby. She is one of the neighbors, and what I love about her is she's a mom and I'm a mom, so I really relate to her. I don't have 3 kids, but I have 1, but it feels like I have 1 and I have a job, and that's hard.
I love what you wear, like when you saw yourself made up in like the makeup mirror for the first time with the overalls and everything else in Miss World. What was it like for you?
Oh, it was a treat. I mean, I felt like my grandmother, honestly, because I'm from Ohio and she's from Ohio, and I felt just like her. I felt really special. And my character makes her own clothes, so I was really proud of myself.
It's an amazing company. I mean, Annette, Tracy, Ben, right, Francesca, right down the line. I mean, it would be hard to imagine a better cast.
And finally, when you took your bow tonight, back on Broadway, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was thinking how wonderful it was to look out at so many people standing up, seeing so moved and jubilant, and that's what you want.